like a video.
Huh.
So
it's like,
It's
look
just
at
like
this.
you can read the comments and whatnot too.
People will be asking shit right down here.
Yeah.
For you.
Oh, it's kind of like Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
oh, that's dope.
How come I'm so much taller? What is this?
I'm just look. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
good posture.
Okay, maybe I'll
you
do
know what I
like
mean? It's just
I'll
the
do
posture.
a sit down here. So look at what we got here. We got Kevin Lee, who we've done a hotel hangout before.
Yes,
Dewey
sir.
Cooper over here off cam, but he's saying hello. We got Keith Lee.
Yes, sir.
This is
Yes, sir.
Thursday night. Keith Lee is fighting Friday night live, TKO 39 on Fight Pass. Keith, excited? Pumped?
Of course,
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you get out there.
So this kid you're fighting, you know much about him?
I've only seen one fight of him, but as long as he comes to fight, it should be a good fight.
So
We're going to war.
when I called your first fight here, and I was floored.
Great commentating, by the way.
Yeah, you like that?
Amazing
Yeah,
commentating.
thank you. Yeah, you work really hard on fighting. I work really hard on commentating.
Yeah.
That's the shit that I work hard on.
Right.
That's right. How about you? Things good? You're fighting 9 days? Nine days?
Yeah. So, as soon as we get back, I fly back to Vegas for a little bit. Do a couple media things and then shoot over to Oklahoma City, go get it in, So the fight's on a Sunday, which makes it, throws it off a little bit for me, but big deal. So.
You gonna put me in this corner this time? Oh, you don't know.
Are you in the corner?
Yeah, Keith will be in my corner. Yeah, I got
Alright.
Keith, I got Dewey Cooper, Robert Fawless, and Stephon Patrick, as always. So still the same corner. I just had to keep
That's wicked. So
it'll be a good experience.
brother's cornering you tomorrow night, and you're cornering him next weekend.
Yeah.
Give it a back, paying it back. Yeah.
So when you fought many times, you've cornered other people. When you walk out tomorrow night with him, you're gonna use the moment to visualize your walkout and all.
Yeah. It all comes with the experience. Like I said, in the fight game, I think experience is above all. So this is just more experience. You get that little bit of a butterfly. It's a different feel when you corner, especially. I think it's actually worse, you know what I mean? Because there's nothing I can do about it,
That's a problem.
Yeah, and it's my brother too, so it's even worse, you know what I mean? So you kind of get that jitter. I mean, I've been over the jitter like a million times. I've got a lot of competition. Any type of competition experience is good. So through all my wrestling matches, all high school, all college, I got a lot of experience.
So it's familiar, the feelings are familiar, but there's still jitters, there's still nerves. Like, I was in the back for a fight. I was fighting, and then there was a kid, and he was fighting his first fight. And Joe Dirksen, I don't know if you remember Joe Dirksen. You remember Joe. You know Joe, do you? So Joe Dirksen was on fight number 60.
Okay.
And the kid is like, Joe, like, I can't, my hands feel weird. I feel weak. And
Really?
Joe goes, fight number 60. Yeah, I kind of feel the same thing.
Yeah.
The kid, right away, you could see him feel like, oh shit, if this is normal, right? This feeling is normal. Of course I'm supposed to feel a little fucking weird. I'm gonna get in a violent confrontation with a professional athlete.
If you don't feel like that, then it's something wrong, you know what I mean? Like, it's way more that goes into, it's not just the fight, like the fight itself is scary, but you also changing your life, every fight changes you a little bit, and whether it's for the good or for the, for worse, like either way it's gonna change you, and that's, change is a scary thing sometimes. You should be nervous going into it.
That's the only way.
Yeah.
Either win or lesson.
But change, if you give everything right and you're chasing something real and you're seeking the best out of yourself, even if you don't win and something happens, you will change for the better.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, experience is all,
Let's separate the greats and the goods.
Yeah.
Even if you lose, as long as you take a lesson away from them, you still win.
That's right.
Definitely.
How old are you?
20.
You're 20.
Yes,
Fuck.
sir.
And you had what, 7 or 8 amateur fights?
Yep.
Yeah. And wrestled in high school too?
Yep. Wrestling in high school and you're in college.
Yeah. Crazy. And when I saw you two guys fight, I think I even told Rogan about it when we were like.
Cheese on the dessert?
Is this you guys?
Yep.
Oh, you got the
just
dessert?
pack it to go?
We pack it to go, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 second.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought
We got a question. What's that say? Kevin, your black ass is getting choked to death.
Not much of a question.
Really?
but-
That's what the fuck you gotta say to
Your
Kevin?
brother Chris Brown's in jail.
Yeah.
They talking your brother
Your
Chris
brother,
Brown.
hey,
They talking, is that Chris Brown on the left?
Whoever said that,
Yeah, that's
fuck
right.
you.
Yeah.
They
This
talking,
is
is that
Dewey
Chris Brown
Cooper,
on the
by the
left?
way. This is Dewey
nah, they
Cooper
don't
right
want the
here.
problem.
You don't know who that is. Then, yeah. So,
Chris
They talking, is that Chris Brown on the left?
Who told you that?
so
It was just 2 questions.
Yeah.
I know, but
yeah. So listen, I've literally, I've been doing, TV or some type of broadcasting for decades of my life. the concept of the troll has never been stronger than it is now, and you see how natural it is for us to respond to that shit. Dewey got out of his seat to come over here. It's natural to respond to those
Coach
things.
Dewey's the man. Yeah, definitely.
But
Is it too good
it
to
doesn't
do?
take long to
Yes,
start to
and
realize,
then
oh
you have
shit,
like,
that's what they want,
Yeah.
right? You know?
For me, I don't even, like I said, I don't think you should bring emotion into the game anyway, you know what I mean? If you emotional into it, you know, I don't even read.
Even the
Yeah.
plate.
9 times out of 10, like, I don't really bother with it, you know? Like, it don't, it really don't bother me.
right,
You know, whatsoever. The haters are good for you, you know?
Yeah, for sure they
Haters are
are.
always good.
Thank you.
You're gonna, you're gonna
especially
get stronger.
Yeah, especially with the Russians, boy. Them Russians hate me. I swear for
Yeah.
God, I say like 2-3 things about Khabib.
Yeah.
Them Russians can't
Oh,
stand
yeah.
my ass, boy.
No, so I was over in Russia to like look at and chat about some commentary stuff. Keith's checking this stuff out.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
to you, Robin Black, and I don't know what
It's just
that
a bunch
was.
of hate.
Oh shit! What's that? Oh, phew. All of a sudden
got it.
screens are popping up and shit. So I was in Russia to like to talk about some commentary and stuff, and there's fucking killer fighters over there, passionate, like at the weigh-ins and stuff. People are dancing and singing and stuff. They love fighting.
What it is
over there.
I mean, and those guys fight for their lives, you know? Like, those guys are like real life starving over there, you know?
Yeah.
You got those, yeah. And in most places in the world besides America, you know, like, you get a lot of Americans that fight out of, you know, the
Fun,
sport of
thrill,
it, you know.
yeah.
But them over there, they fight for their lives, you know.
right.
They're real life starving. So, you know, I respect everybody that fight from, especially from over there, because I don't know even their background. You know what I mean? I don't know what they had to go through to even get to the position that they in.
I mean, imagine how hard it is to train and fight. There are people who do it with almost no food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
try fucking fighting with very little
Yeah, the
food.
boys from the favelas, you know, it make you a killer.
That's right.
Make you a killer. But, you know, to me, I do the same thing because every fight is a fight for my life. You know, that's the way I approach it. You know, we ain't in there to pit patter around. We ain't in there to play games. So I'm gonna, hell yeah, I'm gonna talk some shit. You know,
That's right.
You know, you my enemy. You know, up until June 26th, you my enemy. So that's the way I approach it.
There are 3 fights we got to talk about. 3. Keith Lee fighting tomorrow night. Kevin Lee fighting June 26th.
June 25th, baby.
25th.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
August 26th. Your friend's Floyd is a friend of yours, is that right? Floyd Mayweather? I mean, have you
Oh,
trained with
yeah. I don't know if you call him
Okay.
friend, but
I
yeah.
mean, you guys
sure.
don't go out popping bottles.
Yeah. I mean, we could afterwards, though.
Exactly. But you have trained with him, have you?
Yeah. I've seen a couple of his training camps, especially the second Maidana fight. I got to watch like majority of his training camp.
Yeah.
And you know, whenever you can peer into somebody like that, you know, especially to witness greatness, you know, how wouldn't you take that chance? You know, how wouldn't you take that opportunity?
So this week, for my job, I'm doing a kind of the narrating and talking part of a 30-minute documentary with George St. Pierre.
Oh, okay.
So I'm traveling around, you know, interviewing him, talking. I trained with him and his guys at karate on Wednesday. Fuck, is it like to see the level of ultra commitment this guy is putting in there, and he's a physical animal. Like in, you know, the 2 and 3 days that you're watching, in there with guys on their only session of that day, and he's pushing harder than all of them. That's Floyd too, right? And that's you guys.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and it kind of gives you a measure to measure yourself against. You know what I mean? And measure your training against, and see where you stack up, because you kind of got a good idea, but you don't really know until you know. You know what I mean? So that's where that experience comes in. You talk about somebody like George. You know, George has been in the fight game since he was 18, 19 years old. He's in his upper 30s now. You know, so he's got a lot of. Roy's the same way. Been in the fight game since he was a baby. You know, and in his 40s now. You can only learn from somebody like that. You know, he's 20 years old. I'm 24. We only learning. So
That's why we keep Dewey Cooper around.
Dewey Cooper knows his shit. So if you don't know who Dewey Cooper is, if you were here earlier, he gave the finger to whoever was a dick, but he also, go look him up. That's a legend sitting over there. We're lucky to have him here. You guys are lucky to train with him.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And
You know,
it's great to have him. 100%.
and like I said, it's good.
Experience, knowledge.
and guys that have already been world champions. You know, he's a world champion. He knows what it takes to get there. And you know, if you got somebody like that in your corner, you can't help but rise to the occasion. You know.
Are there other Lees other than Kevin and Keith? You got brothers and sisters?
Brother and one sister.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a little brother, is he gonna fight too? Like, is he wrestling?
Nah, you know, we don't know. We don't know yet. You know, we'll see. We'll see.
He's still young, but he's the biggest out of all.
Were you inspired by your older brother?
Oh,
Was that a big part of it?
Yeah, definitely. When I got to high school, he was already wrestling, so I was like, I might as well. I played basketball a little bit. I was only 4'11", so I wasn't that good at it. I was like, well, I can wrestle with still, because he was small in high school. So I was like, yeah, I can do a small man sport.
Yeah. There's some of them, like wrestling, gymnastics. You see those little gymnasts?
Yeah.
There's somewhere where the size is, there's an optimum body type for every sport, right? You watch the Olympics. The Olympics are cool. You see the volleyball players, they're all like a certain body type. You see swimmers, they're all a certain body type. There's an optimum body type for fighting, and I believe it is 125 to 155, very lean. You know, people used to believe that it was length, and length is a part of it, but it's the distribution of weight. But you're going to be a tall 25er always. Although you might go to 35.
Yeah, 35 would probably be the move. So.
And what, 5'10", 5'9"?
5'9".
Yeah. Long arms.
73-inch reach. So a lot big for most 25ers.
Let's see what these trolls are saying. And don't all be trolls. There's some good people in the world. Robin Black, would you take that?
Beth or Holly?
Beth versus Holly.
Bet? Okay. So
We'll go with Beth.
Yeah, dude, seriously. Okay, I gotta give you that.
I mean, Beth can't really fight, but
she's tough.
She's tough.
She's tough and she's crazy.
Tough.
But let's look at this, okay?
The pressure, I think.
Holly Holm has been fighting at a high level for like 15, 17 years, the highest. Betch Kohei started kind of learning to fight about 6 years ago.
I think she's gonna be she's gonna be really brawling though.
Yeah. True, but Holly's
a point fighter though.
Yeah,
Holly's gonna be real pointy, and she's gonna try to come out and just pressure the fight. I feel like Beth's gonna take the fight to her, but she might get outclassed.
But she's an expert counter striker. You know, when you come in forward on a counter striker like that.
Exactly, and she's just gonna
get her.
The more at the higher levels, Holly has the complex concepts, but at the against a lower level one, the simple concepts is all she's gonna have to use.
Yeah,
right?
you're right. She's a great counterpuncher.
She is.
Great counterpuncher.
And Beth's just terrible.
She does. She kicks
can't really fight.
And Beth's just terrible. When we were down in Fortaleza, we've like watched her work out. I hate to talk bad about the girl. Just terrible.
I'll always look for something good to say. Heart, guts, like toughness.
She got a nice ass on her too. She got a nice one, but just terrible fighter though.
Yeah, what else we got, Keith? I can't read. I'm an old man. My vision's bad. What's that say? Keith, you're only 20 years old. Do you like the fight game? Do you see yourself going somewhere in the fight game?
Definitely. I give myself a 2-year span at the most, and we'll be in the UFC. We'll be at the UFC level.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think you're right.
Yeah, like 2 years.
It is interesting, though. You see that, 2 years ago, you're going to have felt ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
Now, you're ahead of them, but they're coming up quick,
yeah,
too. Like
everybody's at the same.
The talent level is going up.
That's why we work hard. That's why I work with my brother and Dewey Cooper, just to keep that level going higher. So I'm always at the front of the level,
That's the game. The game isn't where you are today. The game is where you are tomorrow and in 2. Exactly. You're winning in 2018 and 2019. That's the key.
Looking forward to future fights.
Yeah, exactly. So, what else we got going on over here? Thanks for hanging, guys. It's super.
This is cool.
Would you rather fuck Holly or Betch? So let's put it another way. There's a game. Who would you rather be? So you see George fight Hendricks, and like, who would you rather be? Like, I'd rather be the guy who didn't get beat up. Then there's who would you rather do? That's what I'm talking about in this one. Yeah.
Between Holly and
girlfriend, so I can't even comment.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, I have my neck.
I got a wife. My wife would not hear anything.
Because Holly, she ain't really, she alright, but I just don't like her.
Neither one of these.
Neither one. I'm going neither one. I can't get over the face. I can't get on the face with Beth. Like the face look like a dog or something. Like the body is nice, but I just can't. you know, I'm just not somebody that can put a bag over it. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody
I
said you
gotta-
couldn't. Nobody said that. That wasn't in the rules.
I mean,
yeah. So
I guess.
yeah, I've been married for 5 years. My wife's the greatest woman in the world. So I wouldn't say. But if I was gonna,
I'm on the same boat as
if I
you.
was gonna say,
I'm on the
it'd be
same boat as
Holly.
you. Yeah.
If I was,
gonna
yeah,
say,
all
it'd be
right, I
Holly.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
We'll
My
bail
girlfriend
you
knows-
out.
no offense.
Look, I'm a free man. I can say whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
right. So he's a free man, and he's using words like dog and bag, stuff like that. What do we got here? Some work in the no. So racist shit.
Yeah, he's like, yeah,
Does
nope.
How often does racist shit pop up?
Oh, a lot. Especially on my, you know, I've even had people like go back throughout my, and I've actually deleted like a lot of, they'll go back and like they'll see like pictures of me and my dad and be like, oh, you got a dad, like I find most of the shit funny, but
Yeah, well,
it
what
just
are your
is
options?
what it is.
What are
you
your
know what I mean?
options?
You can be mad about it or
Find it
whatever,
funny
yeah.
or be mad.
That's what happened anyway.
But there, even when you're finding it funny, there's a fucking sad thing in there for sad for people.
Yeah, I feel bad for them mostly, you know what I mean? I feel bad for them before they feel bad for me, you know?
And we're both mixed, so it makes it even worse.
Yeah, well, it just makes it even stupider. Right?
Yeah.
But it's all relative, right? Like, I mean, but I'm shocked, to be honest, because so I live in Toronto, right? You guys been to Toronto?
Only once.
Okay.
I've only been
So
once.
you walk down the street in Toronto. Dewey, you've been to Toronto?
It's like New York.
Yeah.
Really?
You got everybody there. Every kind of food, every kind of music, every kind of dance, and every kind of people.
Yes.
Every kind of couple. Like, you know, so where I come from, shit like that is just absurd
Yeah, it's so
to
annoying,
me.
yeah.
It's just fucking weird.
But see, we're from Michigan. Michigan is all separated.
Yeah.
But in MMA in general, you know, it's got a big problem. I think it's starting to come over that hump. You know, maybe we can try and help push it over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it's just deep rooted in MMA. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the thing I love about living in Nevada, though. It's like a big mixing pot. Like, everybody's in one. You get every nationality, every race. So it's a lot more normal from where we're from.
Tell me about Jimmy Spacuzza over here. Jimmy, what up? What up? So Jimmy is fighting one of these kids that everybody's talking about. The brother of the guy you fought. When I saw Jimmy fight, tough as shit. And he was fighting a fancy guy that he didn't crack his code and was still in there till the end.
And this is the first fight at 45.
Yeah.
I don't think TJ is going to realize how big he is.
Yeah,
how
strong,
he is.
fast, skilled. Yeah, I know. So the thing for people who haven't seen TKO is it's high level,
Yeah.
right? Like high
Everybody's
level.
going to the UFC level. Everybody's actually have a future of it.
Exactly. So we're bringing in good people to fight good people, and when that happens, and people kind of release it to the universe and just let the fight happen and go for it, you get unreal fights. Yeah, you get unreal fights. What do we got? The MMA halls, where are they? We are in Joliet, Quebec.
That's how you
Yeah,
pronounce
that's
it.
how you do it.
Joliet.
We don't.
We've
We
been
don't walk
pronouncing
around.
it completely wrong.
They don't even know where
I
it
said
is.
Juliet like 8 times.
Yeah, Joliet. Yeah, Joliet.
Joliet.
Yeah. So everybody speaks French here, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
have you guys ever speak a word of French?
I had French in high school. I
yeah?
failed twice, so
Yeah.
that really count.
Yeah. See, but you didn't give up after the
Yeah,
first time.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
You didn't
That's
give
all that
up.
counts.
Yeah, no, I
We
never
just-
even attempted.
We just went to an ice cream parlor and Dewey ordered a vanilla milkshake.
Yeah.
She gave him like this strawberry, like super fruity milkshake.
She just kind of looked and was like,
Yeah, it's just like,
fucking
all right, whatever
hope this
you
is
get.
it.
Yeah.
This is
She's like, as long as it's ice cream.
The worst is my man behind us was trying to translate.
Yeah.
And all he did was just say the shit
He
with
just
a
said it with a
Canadian
Canadian
accent.
accent.
It's like, you want strawberry? Like, you know, he just said the same shit in English with a Canadian accent. And she
Jamie ordered some
understood it.
brownies and she didn't understand. And then he came in and was like, yeah, brownies.
Yeah,
What's-
right.
what's the
Like
thing with
saying the
that
thing slower is the same word.
It's the
Right?
same word.
What's the thing with Canadian? Like, I feel like Canadians, like from Toronto,
Yeah.
are way cooler than like French Canadians.
So,
Every time I've been up here a lot. And
So okay, so the language is not the thing, right? The fact that whether you're speaking English or French, it ain't the language. It's just what you're kind of exposed to. So if you go to Winnipeg, so you've been to Winnipeg,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You fought in
Oh, it's
Winnipeg. You
terrible.
fought in Travis Gervais.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
a
right.
terrible city. It's
grew
a
up
horrible.
there. That's
Did you?
my town.
Oh my
Look at
God!
this
I
guy.
feel so sorry for you. Oh my God! That is a terrible city.
I grew up in a small town outside of Winnipeg.
Oh
An hour
my
and a half
God! Even
outside.
worse. An
Yeah.
hour and a half from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It ain't shit
No,
in Winnipeg.
no. I know.
I remember flying when we were flying in, and I kind of looked out the window. It was nothing as far as the eye can see.
No, there's 2 or 3 big buildings downtown. but you gotta realize, like, you guys are in America. You're in the biggest cities.
Yeah.
There's Winnipegs in every state. There's small town Quebec in every state, right? That's kind of my point. It ain't. You're not like, what's up with the French people? It ain't the French people. It ain't Canada. There's a little weird pocket, and in those places, you're not always exposed to new ideas. You're not always exposed to risk. You're not always exposed.
I mean,
It's like
Michigan's
the
the same way.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Midwest.
Michigan's the exact same way.
Yeah. You're making enemies tonight. Is he making enemies?
Oh yeah,
French,
always.
the
always.
French,
That's what he's known for.
Winnipeg.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah.
Look, I just be telling folks the
Yeah.
truth. I don't think like a lot of people want to hear the truth, but
Yeah.
I tell them like it is. Like that is a terrible city. I ain't even gonna lie
I'm
to you.
from Winnipeg,
I ain't never
and I'm
going
having
there.
a hard time arguing. You know? I fought in Winnipeg a couple times, and I commentated a lot of times. I don't know if I commentated. It was CFC with Travis Gervais. Yes,
Yeah, CFC. Yeah.
So the promoter, Marc Andre, is one of my closest friends. He was the best man at my wedding.
Okay.
And we were chatting today. I said, "Yeah, Kevin's gonna pop by later." He goes, "You ask him how he went from in Winnipeg being kind of shy and quiet to being outgoing and saying whatever you
Yeah,
think."
yeah, yeah.
and
It's been the same
well,
way.
what, were you quiet? Like, were you a shy guy?
Well, when I was fighting then, I was still in college at the time. You know, I was a full-time student, and I was only 19 years old or so, and you know, kind of still trying to find my place in the world. You know, I didn't really have much. I just didn't have much. Like I always had confidence in myself as an athlete, but I didn't really have much confidence in myself as a person. You know what I mean?
As a man.
Yeah, as a man, you know, because where I came from was way different than even where I went to school at, you know. So it took me a little while to kind of find my place, but you know, eventually I just kind of let go and just like, I just be myself, you know what I mean?
But that's
way
the thing.
better. You know?
The thing about you, like that, some people are bothered, and you have haters, as you mentioned, and you see the odd one will pop up. You're just being authentic, and that, like, this is literally who you are when you hang out with your friends. More or less, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I just need it. I'm just usually a little more, have a little more energy because I'm running off fumes now.
For sure.
I barely slept last night. You know, helping this kid cut weight. Well, I barely slept.
What are you weighing now? 8 days out of the weigh-in. What are you
I'm
weighing?
about 178, something like that.
That's
So,
still a lot of work for you.
Yeah, 22 pounds, but you know, it should be light work. You know.
Yep.
It's about normal.
What do we got here? Robin Black interviewing, some more racist shit. That's great. That's great, people, really.
No, you say I'm the true king, my man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait.
that?
There you go. See?
Big Bridget. Big Bridget. Oh, that's
You like
Big
Big-
Bridget.
you like-
Is that Big Bridget? the
I've
midget?
always-
Hey, she's not even lying.
Hey.
At least she let you know up front, though. Like,
Exactly. At least Bridget ain't like, calling herself small Bridget.
yeah, at least she let you know.
Big
Hey, she put it out there.
Yeah. Personally, I like big butts.
Yeah, all right. Well, we can fit it in. Yeah. Well, I rock with it, you know. Yeah. You need to come down to Brazil with us there, you know.
My wife will not have that. She will not be having that.
That's right,
And
that's right.
So when I first met my wife, who is brilliant and awesome and funny, she had a very small butt.
Right. And talented. Don't forget talented.
Super talented. She's a musician. She's in musical theater. She's traveling in a musical right now. So she is actually very talented.
I'm just messing with you.
But she actually had a very small butt. But then I started bringing her to strength and conditioning classes, deadlifts,
Collard greens.
collard greens.
Hamburger.
They don't have collard greens and strength and
Cornbread.
conditioning classes, but they have a lot of deadlifts and squats. And then all of a sudden it's like, shit, you actually like gain body. But that's what working out does. You can change shit. You change your body, you get better and stuff. Whatever you work hard on, you improve at, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a well-rounded person, you know. That's what I try to preach to everybody. You be well-rounded in all aspects aspects of life, you know.
Well, my girlfriend came out the womb with a big butt, so
Yeah, see?
no squats,
Good.
working out.
No- See, imagine if she started doing squats.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm satisfied.
Yeah, good. She's watching right now.
Yeah. Glad we put that out there.
I'm gonna get cut if I
And
did.
she's also talented and funny.
Very talented.
Attractive.
And keeps my attention all day.
So
Chris Brown was excellent. That's like the 10th Chris Brown thing that we got.
What's with the Chris Brown thing?
He never believes it. I get it all the time.
You do. See, that's a compliment other than I would no, okay. So no, we don't have to. We don't. I bet Robin can make that bottle disappear into his. No. See, the thing is, you're not supposed to acknowledge these people. We're looking for real fight questions. Smoke some more. Maple Leafs.
You don't even want to know.
Somebody said, I bet Robin could shove that bottle into his pussy. So you're not supposed to acknowledge trolls, or else you're encouraging them.
No, not gonna pay that
Walk
attention.
into the end.
Oh, wait. Okay, so we were looking for real questions, but still, we either get mad at them or we laugh at them. That's how trolls get encouraged, right? So what can Kevin learn from Keith through his relative experience?
Inexperienced.
Yeah, inexperience. I mean, yeah, like how can he jump ahead a little bit experience-wise by having a brother at UFC top level?
It kind of works both ways too, because I also am able to, by seeing him do it and like really be in it, you know what I mean, and be intimate, I can kind of see the mistakes, you know what I mean, and I can kind of see where instead of like
The development.
you can kind of see it through video of another guy, just because I've already been there. But when I'm actually, in person, and we were actually just talking about this earlier, when I'm actually there with them, I can kind of see the mistakes that I used to make. You know what I mean? So it kind of reminds me, you know what I mean?
And then you know how you fix those mistakes, and you can quickly give that to him.
He gives it to me, and I give it to him. You know what I mean? He allows me to see it, and I help him get through it.
He picks apart things that I've never actually noticed before, and as soon as he said it, it's like completely like noticeable.
The subtleties of fighting are fucking magic.
It's just a little thing, like the tiny thing.
Isn't that just what is so cool about it? Is figuring out some little change in the way you move your body that changes
My coach in
fighting.
high school always said it's the mosquitoes that get you. Just the tiny mosquitoes instead
Love
of the big
that.
bugs.
I'm
Yeah,
going to use that. What's your coach's name?
Coach Bird.
I will forget that his name was Coach Burden.
Of course you will.
But I will use that, and at least today I will acknowledge that. Coach Burden, thank you for that. I'm going to use that in commentary.
Or even, even the mental aspect of the game. The mental makes up such a big part of it, and so many people like overlook it. But if you can really start to break down that mental aspect, it only increases the physical even more.
For sure. So they say fighting is 90% mental. Everything's 90% mental.
Yeah, that's what they say.
I got to pick this thing up and using my brain to make my body do that. Like fucking everything is your brain.
But we never train the mental. We only ever spend time on the physical. And that's actually why I do a lot of I do a whole lot of film study, and not even just film study of breaking down moves, but even just seeing where a guy breaks. You know what I mean? Like, I can see. I'm trying to get to the point where I can see in a fight at exactly what point he broke. Even though he's still moving physically, even though he's still in there, he ain't getting knocked out. He didn't even get hit with a big shot, but you can see like when a guy it wants a way out or when he breaks.
The fact that you're even looking at that. So people will. I've studied tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of minutes of tape. I've commentated 4,000 fights on 400 fight cards, and done hundreds of breakdowns. And you see these things, and they're real, so they become difficult to explain. But the fact that you even know to look for them. And somebody would say, well, how do you know when a guy breaks? Yeah, you can to see it is one thing. To feel it, you start to hear his body. You hear the breathing changes. You feel the lungs. You feel him sort of start to panic in positions where instead of reacting the way that your training partner or a sane man would react in that moment, he starts to react in panic moments. But to watch it, and that is what my job actually is, and the job fans, what they're looking for, as viewers, is to be able to identify those mental moments as a viewer. That's another level.
And like you said, that's very hard to explain, especially if somebody hasn't put in that work. like a fan that just kind of watches every weekend. You know what I mean? They don't really study. They don't really study the fights. They just kind of watch them and kind of just see how they progress. And a lot of what they get is from the commentary. You know?
Yeah, and that commentary itself has its limits so far. Some of it is there are people and rules and structures that kind of tell them how to do it, but some of it is just habit. Like I believe my job and the job of people like me is to find new language, because we're limited by the words. If all you say is that's a nice jab, we're done. We need new ways, new layers to peel back, right? So that the audience, once you get to the point, and we're at that point right now, where a lot of the audience, a lot of this audience is sitting here watching live right now, is as informed. Yeah, looking good.
Yeah. You know, I gotta make sure.
But they're as informed as the high-level Fox desk. As those guys go, well, you know what you saw there as he got the underhook, he was looking to prevent the takedown. And once he did, he was able to execute some low kicks. These guys can all do that. All of them. So we need to get to a point where we're peeling back more layers, being more curious.
We're both like that when we're watching fights.
Yeah.
We're both like that when we're watching fights. We like commentate the shit out of fights the whole time.
I have the same core group of friends. I do it sometimes now on my Instagram or YouTube or whatever. But I'm fucking, and Rogan's my boy. I mean, he's a genius, and I love him. And
I listen to him all. That's my dream. You know. No offense, but I want to be on Rogan's podcast.
We'll make that happen.
Man.
We'll make that happen.
I'm telling you. I've been meaning to do it.
We'll make that
years,
happen.
man.
Well, Joe's a fucking genius, man.
Yeah, I would
so
love to.
I always watch when he's up, but I'm getting to the point now. Brian is smart. Cruz is smart. You know, Hardy is smart. But I like to listen to music while I watch the fights. I like to put classical music on, and then you watch the fights and you kind of talk about it with your friends. It's fucking awesome because it kind of takes you into another zone, right?
And especially how Rogan does his podcast. The fight break. Yeah, the companion.
That's fun.
We're actually thinking about setting one up where we actually like have it live while we're watching fights.
Yeah, you should do it. You could do it like this. You press one button and you go. I mean, the concern people have, and this is anybody. People are like, well, what if it doesn't work? It'll fucking work. Start it and hang out and be you guys, and it'll be good, and it'll grow all the time. The thing about shit is you just start it. You just do it.
You just gotta do it.
You just gotta go do it, you know? You didn't talk about wrestling when you were a kid, you fucking wrestled, right? Life, a lot of people spend a lot. Yeah, it'll go, and then you find yourself 4 months later going, shit, I should have started playing guitar. And then 2 years later, you go, fuck, if I started playing guitar when I said I would, I'd be 2 years into it.
I do that all the time.
Everybody does it. Everybody does.
You go, oh man, I should have like opened up that credit card, you know, and then you're like, damn, I would have did it 6 months ago, like I would already be good, you know.
We'd be good now.
Yeah, no. I mean, you know, we can use fighting as a lot of different ways into other things too, you know. Like life isn't all about fighting all the time, you know what I mean? So we'll see where it goes. I mean, for now, that's what I'm focused on, you know, and because I fight so frequently too, it's kind of hard. You know, it's kind of hard to focus on like regular. Are you 4 times a year, pretty much? Yeah, 3-4 times a year.
And your body's happy with that?
Yeah, you know, I'm young, I'm strong as an ox, so I heal up like a Wolverine. So.
I was really trying to get on the April card. That's when I was supposed to fight originally. I was supposed to fight on the April card, and then instead we just moved to this card. I'm trying to get that commentary gig on Dana's Contender Series. I've been trying. I'm pushing at it.
I hear they got Snoop Dogg doing it.
Yeah, he's involved. He's involved somehow. No, I don't think he'll do the commentary, but he'll be involved in some of it.
That would probably be the only reason I would watch.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna watch it.
Oh,
no, if you actually come, I probably wasn't gonna watch it before.
Yeah. Well, but what I was gonna say is, you know, you do 2 more fights. A fight like that, you go in and slay some guy. You know, like
we've already been talking about it, getting him on there, and then the new thing that World Series is starting, or I guess it's PFA now, that they're starting up too. You know, get him in that tournament. You know, it's $1 million tournament. You know, you
$1 million,
$1 million for the winner. You know, and they pay you a pension every month. So you know, you just gotta show up and fight.
Man, are you fucking? Is it really $1 million tournament?
Yeah, winner gets $1 million. Yeah.
Okay,
that's. I really like about it. They do like NBA, how they do like a playoffs and they reset the series every year, and your record restarts. Like, it's gonna be good.
All right, I don't know how long I got on my battery. Do we have any questions? Sorry, guys, we've been like chatting. So, Robin the Cuck, yeah. I know what that means only because of Brendan and Rogan. Our band should get back together, Robin. That is Killer Kai?
You want me to explain it to you?
Yes, what is a Kai?
No,
I think I know what it is.
Because I will, because I listen to Broker's podcast all the time.
Question for Keith.
Holes in Mighty Mouse game you think you could expose?
So holes in Mighty Mouse's game. Good question.
Holes,
You see any?
Holes isn't really the word. Mighty Mouse don't have holes in his game. If you fight Mighty Mouse, you just gotta come ready to fight. You gotta come ready for a war because he's so good at everything that you don't know what Mighty Mouse is gonna get tonight. You gotta be ready for a war.
And so, in a fight with a guy who's fucking good at everything, it'll be about winning the little battles, the little skirmishes, right? Like being capable of winning the little moments and create a moment.
Our good friend actually just fought Tim Elliott. He actually just fought.
Who's that?
Tim Elliott.
Tim's your friend. Yeah. Tim's fighting Ben Wynn. Oh, he fought Ben Wynn. Ben caught him. So Ben Wynn used to fight on CFC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I fought up there. He's from South Dakota, which is straight down from Winnipeg.
Same.
If you go, same kind of shithole.
I'm
I'm from Winnipeg.
You see my face? It ain't nothing.
No,
Okay.
I know. I've been there. I spent time there. So there's another town called Regina, Saskatchewan. It rhymes with fun, right? Regina. Oh, thank you. Look at my boy Jason St. Louis, TKO veteran and contributor to the broadcast.
They said he's not fighting top
Thank
people.
you.
If you see Mighty Mouse, is Mighty Mouse not fighting top people?
Top people.
What top do you mean?
He's fighting the top guys in his weight
He's fighting everybody. He
Exactly.
destroyed his whole weight class. What top fight?
I will say though, I do disagree that they call him the best pound for pound fighter.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. I mean,
I wouldn't agree for pound for pound.
personally, I think the best pound for pound fighter gotta come from 55 or from like 45 to 70. You know, if you're asking me, because that's where the average man is at. You know what I mean? So that the cream always rises to the
Depends
top.
what we're talking about. Who is the best pound for pound gymnast? If you're like, well, it's got to be 180 pounds. You're like, gymnast 140. You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking about sheer skill, I mean, it'll be the lighter guys.
You bring any
55
guy
down.
from any guy from 45 and make him 25 or make him smaller. I think Mighty Mouse gets it.
Yeah.
Skill wise.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so interesting to see him. There's also a smarts there. And you guys know this. Some fighters, you're now. So I'm sure at one point as an athlete, you were like, "Tell me what to do, coach." But now you want to watch tape and you want to think, and you want to learn, and you want to expand your mind. And Mighty Mouse does that, but he also implicitly trusts Matt Hume, who is a genius, focused heavily on him. And Matt is just looking for perfection. If I put my hand here, my opponent will do this or this. I have an answer to both of those. That will give two other options, and I have an answer to all of those, etc., etc., etc.
And that's one of the, I think, the biggest things about having great coaches around you. You know, you always got to be a student. I think where a lot of guys mess up is, you know, they get to that level and then they're like, okay, well, let me start teaching people now, or let me start opening up a gym. Like, as soon as I hear, personally, as another fighter, like, as soon as I hear, like, my opponent open up a gym, I'm like, oh,
we're good.
He on his way out. No, you know, he's starting to teach other people. Like, I'm still learning. You know, I'm still, you look at somebody like George St. Pierre, you know, George is always going to look at, like, Faraz Sahabi, Greg Jackson is like his, you know, you won't see him open up his own gym and start teaching guys out of it.
So I'll tell you, I was with him all week, and he invited me. He was like, "You want to come train jiu-jitsu?" I'm like, "We're shooting today." He goes, "You want to train tomorrow?" They were doing point fighting.
Okay.
He brought in, so he has an old, Stefan Dubé, who's an old veteran point fighter from here, and two world champion point karate fighters. He brought over to just play that game. And at first, I'm talking to people about it. They're like, "Wow, if you're doing point fighting, you're off balance. You can't throw any punches." But think of it, it's the defense. If you can't fucking touch me light-handed, how are you going to touch me heavy-handed with kicks, right? So the point fighting game isn't about popping in and touching you. It's about never getting touched, right? And you watch these guys train it, and I trained it with them for a couple hours. Fucking exhausted, burned,
I would imagine.
touched up like crazy. And frustrated because you know they're there and they're just asking you to attack, and as soon as you do, they're somewhere else and they touch you. The somewhere else is what's the result you want in fighting. You know, touching from a weird angle, great, but never getting hit. That's fucking gold. You know,
and that's one of the beauty. That's one of the most beautiful things about fighting to me. And I think it's one of the purest forms of art. that, you know, for me, I define art as anything you can do with your body, you know what I mean?
sure.
Dancing, you know,
Singing,
you know.
body.
There's no perfect way
Painting,
to dance.
whatever.
There's no perfect way to sing. There's no perfect way to move your body, and there's no perfect way to fight. There's so many different styles, and you know, there's so many different ways of doing it, and you can learn something good from everybody. So
if somebody improperly said that Demetrius Johnson was perfect, or whoever, whoever, and the whole world agreed, that's perfect. Somebody would somewhere go, okay, while everyone's agreeing to that, I'll go and make a new perfect. That's what art is. It just keeps, you find the answer to the answer forever.
It keeps elevating.
Yeah, exactly.
The game always keeps changing.
The game itself evolves. And so they say that jazz, and I'm not a jazz guy, but if you study these arts, jazz is not just the creating of music, it is an adaptive system. So you're playing something and your brother picks it up and he wanders off into that and I join in and the system adapts. And fighting's the same thing. Fighting is an adaptive.
I think that's what we saw with the Max Holloway fight, the Max Holloway and Jose Aldo fight. You just see the game is evolving. You see Max is on a different level.
And it's an understanding of awareness of the relationship in space between my weapons and your targets, and your weapons and my targets and my feet and your feet. Just that. That's gone to such a level now that Max understands that with all those relationships in ways that Jose didn't understand it because he didn't ever need to.
Or he just didn't evolve. You know?
New generation.
Like I said, I'm a very confident, I'm super confident against any man, but you would never hear me say I'm the best fighter in the world. You know, because I don't even think I'm the best version of myself. So how can I be the best? You know, of course, there's probably some kid out in Missouri out of with no fights or one or two fights that will probably beat the, whoop my ass. You know what I mean? I ain't found him yet.
But you in 18 months have to be ready to whoop his ass in 18 months.
And I'm gonna whoop my ass now. You know, like I whooped my ass that I fought a year ago. So how can I say I'm the best if a year from now I'm gonna beat my? You know, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's never going to be true. And even if you were literally the best right now, in 60 minutes somebody could be slightly better. 60 minutes, one more training session.
So I still do it if you're the best for a long period.
Yeah, why you might as well die. You know?
If you believe you're the best in the world, why would you work hard to
Why do it?
Why would you work hard to So let's take one or two questions, no fucking dumb ones. No offense, I love you guys. And then we'll talk about your fight, and that other fight that people are talking about right now. Kevin Lee, you got destroyed by a Brazilian really? We need homophobia now? Kevin Lee is GOAT. Man, time will tell. Okay, Kevin likes that. High-level fencing and karate are very similar.
I love when they argue in the comments,
Jack Slack articles on the similarity. Yeah, I mean, fencing and karate, of course. I mean, we know that. You don't need an article for that. Yeah, it's all and it's all distance. It's all playing with distance and timing.
You can even take gymnastics and dancing in those forms too.
Robin Black asked Kevin Lee.
Everything is athletic, so it's all about the way you express techniques.
Yeah.
We all learn how to punch, kick, knee, elbow, takedown. It's about your interpretation of that expression.
Right.
And that's what makes everyone different.
Which is music too. Everybody knows how to play a G chord. It's how you put it together, right? Robin Black asked Kevin Lee what he thinks about the fact that elite level boxing seems to be what separates the top level fighters, and what does he do to get to that level? Next one, sorry, I will throw in, Robin, you're a fucking legend. Top level boxing, which you have been working on for the last number of years.
Working with Dewey?
Yeah.
But to me, you have to do everything, you know? That's where the game is evolving to.
Yeah.
It's not just gonna be top level boxing that can get you up. Sorry. Boxing is only gonna get you so far. Because eventually you'll be taken down, you know? If you can fight any different style of fighter, and that's at least what I try and do, I try and raise all my skills at the same time. So if I do go against another top level boxer and I'm able to take him down, then what, or I'm able to kickbox, or, you can even break it down. I try to even break it down even further than that, rather than just striking, grappling. People just say, oh, he's a great striker, oh, he's a great jiu-jitsu guy, and he's a great wrestler. You can't beat him. Well, no, you can break each one of those
For
forms
sure.
down, you
and
know.
and the spaces in between them.
In the transitions, you know, and whether you can fight going forward, whether you can fight going backwards, whether you can switch stance.
That's the thing. People like myself and people like me did a bit of a disservice when we started getting really into analysis and trying to make that a thing. Because we started just categorizing stuff.
Yeah.
So like we're like, how's this takedown defense? There's no fucking such thing. In wrestling, like when you guys wrestle, did anyone say how's his takedown defense? If I say to Jimmy, I say defend the takedown, I've given him a single assignment. If I say to Jimmy wrestle, he could counter, he could hurt, he could change it. It's a million.
And that's what
fucking
you see at high level wrestling. And even once you break it down in a sport like wrestling, which I think I was listening to Joe Rogan when he had Dominic Cruz on, and when Dominic Cruz was kind of breaking down his own technique, I found it like really interesting. He was breaking down how he transitioned wrestling into fighting, where he's saying when you look at wrestling, you don't even look at a stance, you know? Guys move so fluently between stances. They move from a square stance to a stagger stance to a left foot forward, right foot forward. You know, I think eventually fighting will even go to that point.
You're seeing a lot of that already. To me, this is the next thing for me. Well, we got some cool Asian language here. I've been spending some good time in Korea. It's been amazing. Korea is beautiful. This is, I think, the next move for me, for people's understanding, is connecting them all. And I don't just mean, fluidly boxing to a takedown. I mean understanding it's all the same thing. If I am standing here and I want to step out here and get this angle on you, that's the same as fucking passing your guard.
Yeah.
With the fact that we're standing on the feet and I want to go here and strike, it's like passing this fucking half guard or side control. Conceptually, these things should not be considered different. You know what I mean? We consider them different because this is the ground game and this is the stand-up game. Everything's categorized. This is a fucking guard pass. That's what that is. Whether you're on the ground or you're standing up, I'm passing your fucking guard.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
you can call it whatever you want to.
We don't need any terms if you know what it is.
That's what everything in life, though.
Yeah.
Everything is categorized in big, bulky things instead of being broken down.
And when so that'll circle us back to Mayweather and McGregor, right? So
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, of course it has to, right? Especially because he's trained over there. You've trained over there too? Yeah. You spar with some of the boxers over there a lot? Yeah, it's fun, eh? Sparring with real boxers is
real fun.
stressful. Yeah, stressful.
It's a different style. You can see it when you're in there.
But so if you're going to find a way to beat something that you can't beat, you beat it by reinterpreting what it is. So if you're going to have a chance to beat the best boxer in the world, people are like, don't use boxing. And their answer is like, so what do? The answer is just refuse to accept some of these rules and structures and categories, right? It's a rethink.
It's a fight. It's a fight. It's not really a boxing match. It's a fight.
And one of the biggest things that high-level fighters do, or that I've tried to do, is you go back to these, everything has a rule set. And the reason why most rules are in place is because something is way too effective, The reason why you can't put a body triangle in wrestling is because it's too effective.
Yeah, I can't stomp the head of a downed opponent because it's way too effective.
You can't hit the back of the head because it's too effective, I think if he does stand a chance, that's what he's got to do. He's got to find those gray areas.
He's got to fit around.
That, because there are even like certain etiquette, and we were going over this with my coach Robert Wallace in jiu-jitsu.
Wallace a fucking genius.
Yeah, Wallace is a genius, But even in jiu-jitsu, like to knee ride a guy's face, it's not against the rules, but it's so looked down upon in jiu-jitsu.
It's low class.
It's even like back in the day, you never saw anybody footlock. You never saw heel. You never saw it.
Yeah, they were like, don't do that to your training partner. It's rude.
Because it was rude. Because it was looked down upon. But now, I mean, that's all you guys. That's all you see guys do.
Yeah, that's how you create an opening to get back your feet off.
Yeah. So if he is to do something like that, he's got to find those gray areas in the boxing that Floyd ain't used to. That Floyd ain't looking
So
for.
now I'm Floyd. Do I start to even go down the rabbit hole of what those might be, or say fuck it, I'll just be the best in the world and it doesn't matter? Because you don't want to get distracted by that shit either, right?
Keep it simple, stupid.
He keep it simple.
I was about to say that.
Simple.
From his perspective, just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Floyd
There's
has the
outlaws.
advantage. Floyd has the biggest advantage in this fight. It's gonna be on his terms, his size ring. You know, it's gonna be boxing. You know, and Conor has to bring his style down to a boxing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest advantage Floyd has.
Yeah.
He has 49 times doing the same thing where he can make the variables smaller for Conor. And keep it simple, stupid. That's what Floyd's
Go
gonna
full
do.
kiss.
I mean,
Keep
you
it
can always
simple,
do things in
stupid.
your own backyard, but as soon as you try to do things in somebody else's backyard, it's completely different.
He's gonna stall the fight early. He's gonna do all those things. Try to make it boring, so it breaks Conor's concentration.
Way too much
Conor
experience.
wants an exciting fight. He wants to prove it, and that's gonna be his demise.
And you're Floyd and just don't get touched. It's the best.
And Floyd don't mind putting on a board fight. You know?
6 rounds of
In fact,
boring.
Floyd seems to take some pride in being like, I took all your money and you wanted something, and I don't give a fuck what you said.
Yeah,
You know?
he does.
Yeah, it's true.
Floyd definitely won't overextend anything. He's gonna bore you, and Conor's gonna want to prove something to get caught.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. It's a long road. That's a long one to climb. I don't think he's standing a chance.
So 4 years ago, he was on welfare, and he said, I'm going to be a 2-division UFC champion. People are like, you can't fucking make the UFC. You can't beat anyone in the UFC. You'll never beat Jose Aldo 13 seconds later. You take a loss, now you're done, comes back. You'll lose to the wrestler, takes him out. You won't beat Eddie, takes him out. Bullshit, you'll fight Floyd, he's fighting for it. But this is the biggest of those. So all of these build up to the $100 million insurmountable mountain.
I mean, saying you can and saying you can't are the same thing. They're both true. So you continue to tell yourself you can do it, you can do it.
Fuck, I like that, kid. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can't hate the man hustle. Hey, he gonna make some money. You can't hate the hustle. I would give it to him too. I'd do the same thing.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
you know, he should go ahead and vacate the title. They should make another title at 165. And then we just move on, because I don't think he's gonna come back. He ain't gonna come back. He shouldn't, at least. He shouldn't come back to MMA and fight somebody like me, where this is what I'm doing for this whole time that he's been spending on Floyd. You know, we've been training to actually fight, you know, and fight MMA. So.
You take Conor McGregor out? You take that guy out?
Yeah. People, the fans don't want to hear it, but we put it on.
Of course they don't. It's like when you said something about Habib. Habib's got legions of Russians. They want to kill you now. Now you just pissed off the Irish.
Right.
You pissed off Winnipeg. You pissed off
I'm telling her the truth. I'm telling them like it is. Habib gonna get it soon though.
I love
so,
it.
you know, hey, just like you said, like Conor said all those things all them years back and people didn't believe him. I've been saying the same shit, so, you know, it ain't gonna bother me.
It's true.
So,
It's true.
Yeah, they just don't see the vision.
What's happening tomorrow night?
It's gonna be a war. We're gonna go to war. And I'm coming to fight. I'm ready to die in there. So if he's not ready to die, you'll see the results. The results will show.
6 p.m. Eastern Time on Fight Pass. It's an honor to commentate great young fighters like this. And your fight?
Yes, sir. Next Sunday.
June 26th?
Look,
June 25.
25, yeah. After the first 2 minutes of the fight, he gonna realize he under this league. So.
And so you talk about knowing when a guy breaks. You're like, fuck, I'm gonna like rough this guy up in a couple of minutes, and then he circles off. He's got a bit of blood in his eye, and he turns back and you go, oh, motherfucker's actually really tough, and I didn't break him.
Oh, he is. Actually, I don't think I think that would be like the toughest challenge is actually breaking him. When I look at all of his fights and I actually like analyze it, he actually, you know, he's a tough motherfucker. He can take a lick. Boy, he can keep
And
on
he's
pushing.
big and he's long and he goes.
And he's, you know,
Right?
I actually do, you know, like that's actually great for me because it's gonna allow me to showcase over 25 minutes, you know. I just think after the first 2 minutes he'll realize he's a little out of his league and he'll go for something stupid. Yeah. I mean he and he's just gonna try and make it ugly and push it into a deeper fight. But the deeper fight favors me, you know. I'm built for 5 rounds, so that allows me more time to strategize, more time to pick them apart, and more time to kind of analyze and let the fight play out, you know.
Both have them. We'll get better as the fight goes on, as the rounds go on.
And it's gonna be good. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Appreciate you having us.
Keith Lee, Kevin Lee, Dewey Cooper over here, and during Kevin's fight, let's do a fight companion in these guys' honor. We'll do it right here. You guys join.
Let's do it.
Thank you guys.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was great.